My next upload that I'm going to share about is with regard to the boundaries and limitations of culprits in this situation that have overstepped the lines of legalities and procedures and that have continued to cause offence without thought for consequence. So, as I've mentioned, there's been very serious breaches of confidentiality. There's been very serious defamation, and there's been very serious malpractices and misconduct of individuals that had absolutely no remit to be in my circumstances or my proximity, and that haven't fulfilled their obligations with any courtesy or so and so. So the matter I'm raising is with regard to the Declaration of Human Rights. Declaration of Human Rights safeguards all human beings' entitlements to live a fulfilling, rewarding, purposeful existence. There's an issue with regard to my present circumstances, being subjected to creative intellectual theft, creative frauds really, and social trendsetters that have been quite aspirational with my creative and intellectual work and my spiritual work. My spiritual work has positively impacted in many ways. My creative work is my own personal experience that has been exploited and utilised, that has involved my name being used in works that I have not consented to. So there have been really invasive violations, very serious intrusions, and huge financial exploitation from my endeavours and my achievements. And individuals that have used my name and my work are in breach of other laws with regard to copyright, also copyright laws that they have disrespected. So, as there are repeat offences of slander and defamation since 2006, this matter is quite serious. But the most serious and sinister aspect of all of this is that I am a married mother, and I have experienced very serious wrongdoings and very serious negligence. So the role of justice is a huge factor in all of this. There have been individuals obstructing the course of justice, not respecting the course of justice. They have not adhered to the laws that be, and they have been of huge exploitation from my personal experience and as a sacred royal of many spiritual gifts and blessings. I've met some very incredible wise individuals, very saintly individuals, very intelligent individuals, very wise individuals that have been a part of my spiritual experience, that very disrespectful culprits in a collective have intruded upon, and that they have damaged and disrespected. So as a sacred royal, the issue of matters pertaining to all the rights of the Declaration, all of the rights of the Human Rights Declaration have been disrespected, and there are many facets and factors to this vendetta of offences that I'm experiencing that have also affected the role of medicine and the role of legal practitioners, unfortunately, also. So I'm experiencing very serious human rights abuses, and as a sacred royal, as a married mother whose child is not receiving the full care of his mother, it's a very sad sign of the times that a child is unlawfully withheld from the best care of the mother that gave birth to him. So that's really offensive to women's rights and children's rights, and it's really presumptuous of individuals to think that they have an authority in this situation where they have absolutely no role to play whatsoever. So they have been quite intrusive, quite presumptuous, and quite discourteous to every right in the Declaration of the Human Rights Declaration. And this is just an update with regard to my experiences during pandemic and the commencement of these offences prior to pandemic, which really were in 2016. So it's been a long 4 years, and I'm still waiting for my rights to be respected, and the slanderers and the frauds and thieves and intruders to be in a position to address their failings and their indiscretions when they have been highly thoughtless and careless and reckless with other people's lives and achievements and family and property and such. So with regard to my creative and intellectual and spiritual work, those using my name and my creative work in particular, and my intellectual experiences that have been of plagiarism really, and violations of copyright laws and violations of defamation laws, there's a huge issue occurring with regard to people that have not honoured their own originality and that have been quite disrespectful of the creative process and the work of the artist. So for those that have been of theft with regard to my photography, that's another issue. So I'd appreciate the United Nations knowing the extent of these individuals' offences that have an awful negative ripple effect on other people's creative and spiritual and intellectual experiences, particularly the role of motherhood that has also been highly damaged in this situation with regard to negligence and misconduct.